Hi there, I'm Brian from the Lincolnwood Library, and today we're going to go over Google Sites, a web application you can use to make your own free website. And I'm joined by another instructor today. So if you know a little bit about technology and have a free Google account, this video is for you.
Hi, I'm Victoria Wilson, and I'm going to take you on a journey through Google Sites. I am a Google certified educator, and I am also a STEM teacher for kindergarten through 8th grade at Camargue Elementary School in North Riverside. I also teach first and second grade at a German school in Des Plaines.
Now, Google Sites doesn't have everything, but Google Sites is a great tool for lots of different websites. You can make a page about an event. You can do an organization help center or project, or for a team, whether a business or group team or a sports team. You can do all sorts of enterprise portals for businesses where information is stored. You can do portfolios and restaurant menus and photo books, parties, all sorts of different things. Now, Google Sites doesn't have some advanced tools like e commerce tools, and it doesn't have blogging tools built in, but it has a lot of really great features and they're pretty easy to use. So you can put together your website.
All right, so let's get started with creating our very own Google site. First, you'll need to get into your Google Drive. So you need to log in to your Gmail. You can see I am logged into my Gmail here. And then once you are in your Drive, you can click New, just like you would create a Google Doc or a Google Sheet or a Google Slide. You start with that New button. You're going to go ahead and go to More and then Google Sites. And this will start your very own brand new Google site. Now we have several different parts of a Google site. Up here is where you will name your site. Over here is where you would name the title of your page. And again, your site name will show up over here. Up here, we have several different buttons. This is your undo button. So if you just typed in something incorrectly, you can undo, or you inserted something, you can undo something very quickly. This is your redo. So if you're like, oops, I just undid something a little bit more than I did, you can redo it. Right here, this lets you preview what your page will look like. And you can choose to preview what your page will look like on a computer or on a handheld device. So you can really get a good idea of what your page will look like on either device. Up here, once this is published, you can get your link to your site, and this is the link that you will share with people that you want to view your site. Here is a plus button to add other people to your site. So let's say you and somebody else run an organization together and you both want to be able to edit the site. You can add that person here, and then you will both be able to edit the site together. This is only to add people that you want to have added access to the site. When you are sharing this site with people you want to just view and be able to see information from your site, make sure you are getting this link right here and giving that to people. In our settings, we have a couple different other tools, but we won't go into too much detail about that. Over here are kind of your basics of how you can use Google Sites. And it is very plug and play, very user friendly. The four main things you can insert are a text box, an image, something for your drive, or you can embed something if you have an embed code from another web page. You can also start with some simple layouts like this, or there are these other features as well, which we'll explore in just a little bit. Over here is where you can add additional pages. So I can go ahead and add a page. I'm just going to do page 1 for right now and click done. And you can see your additional pages show up at the top here. Over here, we have themes. So you can customize a theme, or you can choose one of these easily provided themes. Now notice when you click a different theme, this changes the types of fonts, the types of colors that are available. Right here, this is your header for the page. You can change your image. You can upload an image you might have. So if you have a photo of your group or your organization, or whatever you're doing, you can upload a photo that you have, or you can select an image from their choices. So you can use the gallery, and these are already formatted to fit the style of the header. So you don't have to worry about the image being the right dimensions. These are already set and ready for you to go. So if there's something in here that really fits with what you're doing, these are great general ones to use. Of course, you can also search for an image, but keep in mind the dimensions might not match exactly your header and it might not fit exactly the way you're thinking. So you might have to look for several pictures or try a few times to see that you have correctly selected a photo that matches the size and the style of your header. Okay, so let's do some example inserting. So right here, we're going to insert a text box. Notice it goes here to my bottom. That's my first area. And I can go ahead and select from different text styles. So I can do normal text, which will be pretty small. I can automatically set up a title, which will be nice and large. And it sets that up for me right there. I can, of course, change it to a heading, and that already automatically changes the size of it for me. It's also changing my fonts automatically based on that theme that I chose earlier. Now, if I insert an image, let's say I want to select an image and I want to select, from my Google Images. I'll look for a clip art fish. All right, I like this fish. Okay, so now notice on the side here, I get these little dots. I can grab and move these to different order. If I select my box right here of my text box, so not this outer box, but this inner box of the text box, I can grab that, and now I can have an image right next to my title. When I select this image, I get these dots around it, so I can go ahead and move it and make it larger or smaller. I can add links to things. I can add all sorts of things. Of course, I can also choose a layout. So this will automatically set up a layout kind of like I created here, with an area to place a picture and an area to place some text. So notice you'll have a title text, some smaller text, and your picture. If you're like, ooh, I didn't want to do that section, you can go ahead and click delete section, and that will delete it. Right here, this allows you to duplicate a section. So if you want to have more than one of these areas, you can. You can also change your style. So maybe you want to have that set to one style, that set to another style. You can absolutely do that as well. Down here, there are many different types of tools that you can add to this section. So you could add a button, for example. Now, I find this useful if you want to link separate pages on your Google site to this button, or if you want to link outside web resources. So I can maybe call this web resource. I would put my link to whatever I want that button to be linked to. So maybe I want it to be linked to Google Sites website, and then I can click insert. So now when anybody goes to my website and they click this button, it will automatically take them to the website location. And you can change your size of your button, do all those different things. So there are many different types of tools that are in here. Please feel free to try them out and explore with making your site. Now I'm going to pass it over to Brian, who's going to talk about how to make a footer with your page. And he's going to talk about some more details with some of these other pieces and which ones are helpful to use in what situations.
All right. Thank you, Victoria, for that start. We've got a great start on designing our website, and we're going to go through some more tools and features you can use. So if you scroll down and then move your mouse to the bottom, you see there is add a footer. A footer is kind of a small bottom section that automatically appears on any other page you create. So if you go into the pages section and add more, it will have this footer that you create. So a lot of times businesses will put their hours and different information down here. So let's do that now. So I'm going to click into this text box. And you see there are all sorts of different formatting tools. I want to show you also alignment. So it is left aligned by default. You can do center align, right align, or align to both sides, double justify. I'm going to do center align. And, if you're a business, you want to give your contact information. That's the library's phone number and our email address and our hours. You could also put a copyright. And when the site was last updated. And any other information that you would like to appear on any page. Now this text is pretty small, so I can highlight it and I can use one of the preset sizes, or I can just manually increase the font size. Maybe I'll make it 18, pretty big, nice and big. And you can do things like highlight and make a certain part of text bold. You can make other parts italic, or you can underline. You can also even change the text color. So I'll make the link blue. We'll go over more text formatting in a little bit. So now if I go to my pages and I'm on the home page now, go to page 1, you see that that information is also there. Now beneath my last part of my web page, I might want some sort of divider. They have a divider that you can put in, just a little thin line to help people see different divisions and sections in your site. Let's do just a little bit more with text boxes. So I'll put a text box. And Victoria mentioned before you've got that ability to drag. I want this above the divider. So I put my mouse over this dots button here and drag it and drop it. And the blue line tells me where it's going to appear. I want it just above that divider. So we can type some text. And you have the ability, along with the linked buttons, to link text. So I can press Insert Link, and I'll make this go to the library website. And you can use any resource, of course. So now it automatically underlines, and when you click it, it shows the link. I'll enter down. You can also do numbered lists and bullet lists. You just click numbered. And to exit out of the list, you just hit enter a second time. And you can do bullet lists too. And again, enter out and enter again to exit out back to main text. Now you can also hit tab to do lists within lists, both for bullets and numbers. You can also see even more. You can increase the spacing between lines. You can increase or decrease indents. You can do strike through for things you want to cross out. You can do a code font if you want to indicate that something has to be entered exactly or something like that, and you can clear format. So that is just a little overview of typing text. Now if we go back to the Pages view, Again, you can add pages. You can have even sections. You can drag and drop the order of your pages. So if I have a third page, I'll call it page 2. You see it starts off with your footer and the beginning of your page. It gives that title. You can drag your pages to switch their order, and they're automatically organized. You can also drag them kind of on top of another page to show that it is a sub-page of that page, and it appears in a drop-down menu. And of course, you'll want to edit the content of your page. I'll go back to the home page. You can have any number of pages, but we've just got a few here today. We could insert all sorts of other different types of content. You can do YouTube videos, I'll just show briefly. And I'll search for something from the Lincolnwood Library. And we've got a demo of our app that we put together. I'll select that and select. And there we go. That video is embedded in our website. You can do similar things to insert calendars and Google Maps. You just type in an address, documents in your Google Docs and slides, and sheets as well. You can even add a fillable form, which is really great. When you're ready to publish your website, the Publish button is in the upper right. You click Publish, and it shows you what a preview of your website address. It's always going to start with sites.google.com. And then I have lincolnwoodlibrary.org because the library uses Google services internally. Your site won't have that. So you can say a title, a business name, or something like that. It's going to have to be unique. They give you the check mark when it is unique. Now, this is unique within Lincolnwood Library, so you'll have to be more unique. You can use your location and a club name or a business name, something like that. You'll have to be creative. When you've found something unique, hit Publish. And there you go. The site has been published successfully, and I can view it. This is live on the real internet. Now that the website has been published, you see there is a down arrow next to that Publish button. You can unpublish your site, click through to view it, see settings, or review changes. This is especially helpful if you have multiple people working on your site. I can see Publish settings and customize. I can change the name at any time, which is very helpful. You can copy the link to the published website. Just pulls up a preview of it, and you can hit copy, and then you can paste that into an email or in any other communications. So we've gone through a lot today about making your Google site. We just want to show a few examples, and then we'll be done. So we've put together a few examples, Victoria and I. Here is a business page you can put together with photos and maps and just plain text and footers. You can have multiple pages. Really highlight what is great about your business. Contact us page with information. So that is just a preview of what a business page can look like. Now, as an individual, you can also have a page too. You'll have to market it, but you could put together information about something you are selling, for example, a house. You can put all the information in one place. You don't have to pay to have someone put together a nice website for you. And you can have all sorts of different features. For example, a calendar for open houses or photos. Now, finally, most Google sites are going to use just the free website addresses from Google With some customization, you can actually use your own website address. And this is an example website that uses this. This is a German school in the area. They use Google Sites for their website. They have their events and they've got information. They have articles that they publish, PDFs from their drive, and flyers. They've got all sorts of different pages on their website. So you can see even more, and you can use their links to see information about them. I'll go back to the home page. The last thing I want to show is how this Google site looks in other sizes. So if I take this window down and change the size of the window, you'll see that it is automatically redesigning the website to keep this content readable as I made this window smaller. So this is kind of a cell phone size now. You see they even give a menu button, and you can still use this really well. If I expand the site back out, it redesigns to a more full view. So that's an overview of Google Sites. We hope you've learned a lot. You'll be able to make your own Google site when you log in with your Google account and use the tools on the right and the top and the editing interface in the middle to make your own great website. So on behalf of Victoria, I'm Brian from the Lincolnwood Library, and I want to thank you very much for watching this video on Google Sites. You can make your own free website end to end with this great tool.